You're the one that cost me the WWE title at Clash at the Castle.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, and new
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we here at Red Carpet Rain. We'll talk about what went wrong with SmackDown. We'll cover that. And this is how WWE fumbled SmackDown this week. The biggest mistake SmackDown made, which it exposed. Let's get the lights as we come in. And I'm going to have you guys do what we always do.
Not real.
Trust me.
But that doesn't do anything, man.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. For one, just to notate for record, on the record, I just want to say this is one of the worst SmackDowns of all year. One of the worst SmackDown of the year. This was like poorly done. Now I get it was a pre-tape show, and it shows that it was, but it was just not good. With that being said, let's get on to what we're on SmackDown. Let's talk about things about this show that could have been done just a little bit better. Just a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Let's get into that right now. First off, can we please stop the Money in the Bank cash-in tease every week? Every week. Not every other week. Not once a month. Not every few months. Almost every week we see this particular strategy. Every time we see her on SmackDown, it's the same old thing. Nia Jax, Candice LeRae mistreat her, say something insulting. She looks down like a sad puppy. And then whether it's during Nia match, or Tiffany match, or a tag team like it was this week, we see her coming down with the contract. And we just enough of it already. Enough of it. We see this too much on this show. And I do not like this at all. And it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense whatsoever. We see it every single week. Every single week. And I think that WWE needs to stop this, because when she do cash it in for real, and actually do cash become champion, hopefully, I really think that's going to ruin the whole concept of cashing in Money in the Bank. I mean, the woman's only held this contract now for 4 months. If you want to build a story behind it, and between her and Nia, how Nia's treated her bad, that's great. But we don't have to run with this whole Nia's always mistreating her, so she's immediately going to tease the cash in. We got to stop that right now. We really got to stop that. It's getting pretty old, don't you think? I mean, every single week we see this is going on, and it's really going to ruin the substance of the contract, and it's also going to ruin the substance of Tiffany Stratton's character. So with that being said, I don't like that. You know what happens, and I talked about this before. You know what happens if I don't like stuff like this. You already know how it's going to go down.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No, you just made the list.
Yeah, let's stop this whole thing right now. This is ridiculous. We don't need to see this every single week. We don't even got to see Tiffany every single week for that matter. Because like I said, it becomes too predictable. way too predictable. And we did not have to do that at all. Like I say, you're really ruining the whole purpose of the contract. That's all I'm saying on that. But that's one thing I saw wrong with SmackDown. That could have been done better. Let's go on to the next part of the show. Matches overall were mediocre. There was a lot of matches that could have been done better. I didn't like how this whole thing was going down. A lot of matches I did not like. I didn't like the Johnny Gargano versus Alex Shelley match. Two guys that are very talented in the ring. They put on a crappy match or a half-assed match, whatever you want to call it. It was crap to say nonetheless. Then we had the 6-man tag wasn't all that either. We had Andrade, a good competitor, Apollo Crews, a great competitor. Him and LA Knight, they all seemed like they were very out of sync with each other. They don't seem like a real guys that would tag with each other, even though they all baby faces. So I wasn't feeling that tag team. And Bloodline's gonna be Bloodline. I'm cool with that. I understand that too. But other than that, though, it was terrible. It was terrible. I didn't like that at all. Now, like I said, the main event for the women's tag team belts, that match was okay. And I really wasn't big on that either, just to be honest. I really wasn't huge on that either. Really wasn't huge on that. And it made no sense to me at all. But that's how they're gonna run with it. I didn't like how something was going in. But I just don't get the whole thing. I really don't. But the matches just were not good. And it's sad because the matches could have been much better. You could tell they taped it. You could tell they didn't care. It was pretty much whatever to them. That's the feeling I got when I saw this match. A lot of these matches I saw like that. Like, they pretty much said, let me hurry up, record this. Let's get this taping done. So let me go home and get the flight and do what I got to do. That's how I saw that whole thing. That's how I took it as. It definitely could have been a whole better thing. I don't like how they was doing it at all. Definitely terrible. You know, that's how I took it. But let's go over another part of SmackDown did not like. At this point, it's obvious that Bianca nor Naomi had to do with Jade Cargill's attack. Now, for online for several weeks now, before about a month, everyone has been going making videos, including myself as well. We made videos about Bianca or Naomi attacking Jade Cargill. We have some theories. We have some stuff to back our theory. But now, as the storyline starts to unfold more, and now we see Jade still out, still no explanation what happened. Naomi is one half of the tag team champions, with Bianca taking her rightful spot. I don't think that Naomi has something to do with the attack or Bianca. I don't think so. It's too obvious. And Triple H, the way he books and writes his shows, I don't think he would let it go out like that. I think it would be more compelling if he added a little bit more flavor to the story. I don't think that would be the case with Bianca and Naomi who attack Jay. I don't think it's going down like that. I don't. Oh yeah, got to do that. I'll get tired of hearing that. And I'm also don't like the mediocre matches, so you're gonna get 2 times we're gonna have to watch stuff like this happen.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? You just made the list. What's gonna happen? No. Words? You just made the list.
So neither one of these two had Jade Cargill attacked. I made a video on Pink Sweat Circle. Check it out. I already said who I believe really did it. So you guys check that out. But it was neither one of these two women. No, they didn't work together either. So no, that's not the case here at all. We go over enough that in like about Friday Night SmackDown. A-Town Down Under. I thought this group was supposed to be done. They teased the breakup a few months ago after they lost the WWE Tag Team Championships um, to I think DIY, I believe, whoever they lost it to. They was teasing the breakup of Austin Theory being manipulated and used by Grayson Waller. Everyone was telling Austin Theory to get away from him, to be on stand on your own 2 feet. And it seemed like Austin Theory was going that direction, and they just went off with it. And now I don't see what the story is. I guess they was teasing a breakup. They was going to go in that direction, and they didn't. And they're still a tag team as we know right now. So I don't know what's going on with the storyline, but you could clearly see that when they did have these segments of Grayson Waller Effect, Austin Theory really is into it. He's just there to be there. Grayson Waller just being an annoying character that he is. And they need to end this already because we see where this is going, and it's absolutely going nowhere. And you guys know what happens if I see something. It's not going nowhere. You already know.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? You just made the list.
So yeah, I did not like this at all. This don't make no sense to me. This team should have been broke up. We need Austin Theory, and I want this to break up not just because of an annoying tag team. We need to see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller be singles competitors. Austin Theory is not a tag team competitor; he's a singles competitor. Just like Grayson Waller is not a tag team competitor; he's a singles competitor. Maybe Grayson stay to seal Austin Theory's face. They could feud each other, build another program, or Austin could just do his own thing. I mean, he was the United States champion, and he did hold the money back contract. So hopefully they get that ball rolling right on that. So other than that, though, that's the issues I saw with SmackDown. I already says one of the worst SmackDowns, but that's issues I saw. Hopefully they work on that because it was like terrible to say the least. But other than that, let's get on with it. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about what went right with SmackDown. Like I said, new thing I'm doing. We're going to talk about what went right this time. What are things that were done correct on the show and the direction that it's going to or headed towards to. Let's start off, shall we? And let's see what's going to happen next. I'm going to go over a few things of what was in the right direction or could be in the right direction. Makes sense. But other than that, though, let's see what's going on and let's see what's going to head to. So let's definitely do that. I definitely see good things happening as a whole on some of these things what went right. Now, because I say what went right, doesn't necessarily mean it could stay that way. It could go into the what went wrong list as well. So let's keep that in mind when I bring up stuff like this, at the end of the day. But with that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about what went right with SmackDown, and let's talk about what good things I did see as the show was too. All right, the first thing I saw, Carmelo Hayes and Braun Strowman. The story could be interesting. Could be. Because think about it. You got a big giant like Braun Strowman, and then you have a guy like Carmelo, who's way smaller than him. And it could work well with Braun Strowman. They actually got some chemistry, that could go somewhere. Now, they have one win over each other. Braun Strowman, when he was surprised for Carmelo Hayes, he defeated him last week. This week, Carmelo defeated Braun in a via countout. This could be an interesting story. Giant versus smaller man. Smaller man versus giant. You got two characters, two different physiques, two different sizes. Could work well. It's just the giant is not the heel, he's the baby face. The smaller guy, Carmelo, is the heel. But this could go somewhere. Could build a story. I saw this with Carmel versus Andrade. He could help build a proper story. That's all I'm saying. And hopefully that's the way it should. It goes in that direction, and it stays there. But we definitely see some good direction going on with these guys. Well, in that though, this is going to be good for Melo and good for Andrade. But I definitely like where this is going. Definitely good. With that being said, I gotta give some props to props to it. We gotta give. Hopefully, this played out right. We'll give credit now, and I have to get this to you for right now until further notice. Hopefully, it stays that way. Yeet. So yeah, Carmelo and Braun definitely can do something. Braun is a monster, and Carmelo could definitely do it. Like I said, now if this goes left, we already know this can go one direction too. It could be yeet, or it could become a complete joke like this.
When this year, I
do. So yes, that could be the case between Melo and Braun. So let's go on to the next part of what we're right with SmackDown. Let's get into it. Next thing I saw we're right. The Kevin Owens promo was great. I like the story of Kevin Owens holding the Win Eagle title. He is the uncrowned WWE champion. And it's a good story because he took out Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event. He also got into a Triple H. And also, let's be honest, Kevin Owens had Cody beat when the ref was knocked out after he hit the stunner on Cody. And Cody, I know Kevin Owens brought the chair in the match. Cody did do the crossroads on top of a chair and got the pinfall. So that could make Cody Rhodes look kind of sketchy. But this story between Cody and Kevin is definitely going somewhere. And it all started bashing Berlin and when Kevin was a babyface, but now this could really reach really new heights if it's done right. Now, like I said before, I said again, could Kevin Owens end up being WWE champion after all this is over? Could that be the case? Could it in there? And I already gave my answer before, and I'm gonna give my answer again.
No.
Not gonna happen. I still see Cody retain his championship. But if you give a chance for Kevin Owens to when he does fight Cody again, Cody comes out with the original WWE championship, and Kevin comes out with the Weight E title. They fight similar to the Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels storyline for WrestleMania 10 ladder match, Intercontinental Champion versus Intercontinental Champion. And then this time, when Cody Rhodes do defeat Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, he already undisputed title, so you can't say undisputed WWE champion again. I guess you really can say it, undisputed WWE champion, but he holds the Winged Eagle title as well as the other title, and hopefully WWE reverts back to the WWE Winged title and get rid of that horrendous logo title they hold. And with that being said, this could be a win-win situation. Storyline for Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens and WWE. Yeet. So I could definitely see that being the case here. It definitely could be the case with these two. Maybe Kevin Owens. Now, if he wins, that'll be the shock of the century. I don't see it happening that way. And then the whole thing with the pin count when Kevin did get pinned, why was referee Charles Robinson counting outside of the ring? Why was he counting outside the ring too? I never saw before in WWE history. The man was standing outside. He was afraid to go in there. But it gives rightful claim to why Kevin should be champion. And then also too, during the matchup, not only Cody used the chair and everything else, he he looked, like I said, he looked sketchy. He looked very sketchy. So we gotta talk about that. Yep, illegal pin count. That's what I'm saying. I never saw a pin like that. I never saw a pin like that in my entire life. So Kevin Owens got a rightful claim to be a champ, and he could very well be a champ. I don't think he will be, but he can be, and I like where the story is going. As long as they continue to build a story, and I want to see if they Triple H going to speak on this again too. I would like for him to speak on this whole ordeal because he definitely lost school, unusual Triple H style. But that's another thing I saw that went right with SmackDown. Let's go over another thing that went right with SmackDown this week. Let's talk about it. The Drew McIntyre and Bloodline segment was good. It was good. Well, pretty much Solo. But I like this whole segment because, like I said, Drew McIntyre finally gets to address the issue that he wants revenge against all the Bloodline members. He took out Jey Uso, took out Jimmy Uso, and he wants Roman Reigns. But Solo, even though they got common enemies in OG Bloodline, said Solo, you're the one that cost me the title, and I could have been WWE champion that night at Clash of the Castle 2022. Also, he said when Roman's done with Solo, when that feud's done at the Raw Netflix episode, Drew is going to feud with Solo and set up the future feud of Drew versus Solo. Now, however, you cannot do this alone. I said earlier, it's going to need some backup. It's 3 against 1. Drew, you as big and strong as you are, you're a Scottish warrior. You can't beat on the dudes on your own. But expect Drew to get some backup, and whoever is going to help Drew, he's going to get some backup at the end of the day. Expect that to happen. And I like that they're doing it this way. This is good. You may have thought Drew had forgot about Solo costing the belt, but Drew been mentioning it on and off for a year. Like I said, but this is gonna be a good one. And we knew at some point, some gave a point that Drew McIntyre was going to spin the block on Solo. We knew he was gonna come at the Bloodline. And that right there is not a prediction, it's a spoiler.
And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. And that's not a...
We knew that was going to happen at some point. We knew it was going to go down like that. And now we're glad it's here. So kudos to WWE for playing that story out very well.
Yeet.
So this is good. I like what they're doing with this whole thing. But let's get into I believe that's everything for what went right with SmackDown. So with that being said, let's get on to current news and bonus round. For X and Facebook, you're going to have to come on over to YouTube if you want to check out the rest. So let's get to that in a second. Let's go over current news. All right, we here at the current news. The news that's been announced here. They talked about Sports Illustrated matches of the year. Let's talk about it. They got for the men's wrestler of the year, Cody Rhodes. They got women's wrestler of the year, Toni Storm. Breakout star of the year, Jacob Fatu. Match of the year, Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. Show of the year, WrestleMania 40. Story of the year, the Bloodline Saga. Rivalry of the year, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. Heel turn of the year, Xavier and Kofi turn on Big E. Best on the mic, Drew McIntyre. Tag team of the year, Fraxium of NXT, the current NXT Tag Team Champions. So this is voted by Sports Illustrated. What do you guys think of that? These are the matches that they voted for. Like I said, we got Cody, definitely Wrestler of the Year. Women is Toni. That's what they got on this whole ordeal. What do you guys think of that whole booking of them putting that together as far as who's the best in every category? Is Sports Illustrated may have a point, or are they missing on some things there? Because for the most part, I will say by reading this article, Cody's Wrestler of the Year, Toni Women's Wrestler, I wouldn't say of the year. Toni, I kind of disagree with. If anything, you would have to put more of maybe a Liv Morgan. I would say more of Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan been doing well as character. So that would be an argument for Liv Morgan than Toni Storm, because Toni Storm was out for a little while. She really wasn't killing it, doing her crushing it the whole year. She really wasn't crushing it the whole year. So I kind of dispute the whole Toni Storm thing. I disagree with that. I do not see her being the women's wrestler of the year. Yes, she was champion, and she put over Mariah in a great effort. I'm not taking nothing away from Toni Storm. Toni Storm, great character, everything. But she was out for a good amount of time. We cannot ignore that. We can't ignore that. And I don't see that being the case here. I don't. So I kind of dispute. I got some pushback on that. Now, breakout star of the year, Jacob Fatu. Absolutely. I get up to Jacob. Solo, I love you. I like his whole gimmick. I like he's a Samoan werewolf. Definitely. Now, match of the year, they got Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. I dispute that too. I would say Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk at Bad Blood Hell in a Cell match will be match of the year. So I got some pushback with that. I disagree with the Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. That is not match of the year. So no. I definitely agree with that. Show of the year, WrestleMania 40, without a shadow of a doubt. They saying that's the best WrestleMania, not only of the year, but the best WrestleMania ever in history. So we can't forget about WrestleMania 40 this year. Story of the year, Bloodline Saga. Again, I disagree with that. I dispute that too. CM Punk and Drew was story of the year. Bloodline comes in at a close second, maybe, but not the story of the year. They were a story, but not the story of the year. Rivalry of the year, I agree. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, absolutely. Heel turn of the year, Xavier and Kofi turn Big E. Yes, I agree with that. Best on the mic, Drew McIntyre, absolutely. Tag team of the year, Fraxium, I would agree with that. They have been a great tag team. They started to look super tag team. I stay in my NXT reviews, but yeah, most of them I agree with. So you guys think of this whole Sports Illustrated matches of the year ranked by Sports Illustrated of the wrestlers? Triple H should be special guest ref for. Yep, definitely. Liv, definitely. Yeah, Liv should be woman of the year, not Toni. Sorry, Toni. The whole year. Rhea could come in a second. Yep. Punk and Drew, definitely. Gunther. Yeah, Gunther and Drew is at a good tie. Yes, I say Gunther did a great job on the mic as well, especially when he talked about Goldberg and when he talked to Bret Hart and Goldberg. Both of them. They definitely did good. And honorable mention for Mic of the Year, I will say Damian Priest. Damian Priest is an honorable mention for best mic on the year because he definitely improved his mic skills over the past year. And he was the World Heavyweight Champion in 2024. One of the guys that held the world title. But like I said, I got some things I disagree with on this list. Cody, yes. Tony, no. Breakout star, yes. Match of the year, no. About 3-4 things. Half of the stuff I disagree with. Robert, the story of the year, the match of the year, women's of the year. The best on the mic could be disputed too. I would say Drew and Gunther is a close tie, but you guys let me know what you think of that. With that being said, I think that's, like I said, it's a good list. We are at nearing the end of 2024. So, yeah, we got to talk about that. But with that being said, guys, you guys let me know, what do you think of the whole these awards here? You guys agree, disagree? You can put in the comments in the live chat right now. What do you think of this whole thing? How's that go? Because it could be disputed. You never know. Definitely could be disputed. Could be a number of things that definitely plays a factor in that as well. Definitely could be. So we'll see what else is going on as far as that goes. So that's one portion of the current news that I do want to talk about. And there's going to be some other stuff I'm going to talk about in a second before we get to bonus round, of course. So let me get to that in a second right now. Now, there's a couple other things I do want to mention. I don't know if you guys know. I'm going to mention right now, before we get to the Tessa Blanchard, Matt Hardy thing, let me mention one more thing. If you guys ain't know, let me get to that right now. Let's talk about it. More current news that is coming up for now. This was announced yesterday. This is actually official. And this was, speculated, but it's definitely known now. All right. SmackDown is 3 hours in January. And let's read what what it says right here. SmackDown continues to air on USA Network every Friday night at 8/7 Central in the U.S. But however, at the start of 2025, SmackDown will expand to 3 hours, starting with the January 3rd episode from Phoenix, Arizona. This is not a shocker here. As we know, WWE has a plethora of talent on Raw and SmackDown. And of course, this whole trade window thing going on, it was a matter of time but WWE will have to make Raw reverting back to 3 hours on Netflix. SmackDown will have to follow suit. You guys let me know what you think of this whole thing. Are you guys happy about this whole thing as far as this goes? Is this good news? You guys like it or you don't like it? Whatever the case may be. But I think it's a good thing. It's needed. Now, SmackDown has never been 3 hours every week. They had specials in the past, special episodes and everything else. We get that. So, other than that, though, let's see. We're gonna see what else is going on as far as that goes. I think it's a good thing for SmackDown because we've been, I'm talking about these characters not getting enough screen time, not getting the proper storyline. I think now with SmackDown moving to 3 hours next month, this will help alleviate that problem. So this would do a very good deal. So I think that'd be great. So let's see what WWE does. Utilize the 3 hours in the right way and in the best way. So we'll see what happens next with characters. Hopefully it's not a flop. It's good. But other than that, though, let's talk about some other stuff going on before we get to the bonus round. All right. With that being said, let's talk about Matt Hardy. He talks about Tessa Blanchard's return to TNA. Now, Matt Hardy, he's currently one half of the TNA World Tag Team Champions alongside his brother, Jeff Hardy. He went on his podcast. He talked about Tessa Blanchard's return to TNA. Let's see what he said right here. Let's see what Matt had to say. Then I'll have the clip as well. So let's talk about it. Says Matt Hardy recently discussed Tessa Blanchard's return to TNA and the reactions it provoked within the wrestling community. Addressing online feedback and backstage sentiments, Hardy acknowledged that some people expressed concerns about Blanchard based on her past behavior. He shared there were a few people that I was sitting in the room with who changed, like, oh man, she was here one time, they're here, man, she didn't do things right or whatever else. He also said he emphasized that those working with her were informed on her return beforehand. He noted one thing, I've heard that, everyone that she was going to be working with, they were given heads up and they knew they were going to be happening. Furthermore, Hardy pointed out that her recent professionalism and performance have been closely monitored, saying apparently they've been following her pretty close and just seeing how she's been as a performer, how professional she's been, and whatnot. It seems so far so good. Now, I know Matt Hardy, he talks about this whole thing here. With that being said, it's gonna be a few minutes here. We'll see what he has to say regarding Tessa Blanchard's return to TNA. And then we'll get to the bonus round talking about WrestleMania 41, how to book it. So let's get into it.
Trials and tribulation throughout that process. There's going to be people who are brought in to try to help offset it, and some will be really receptive and some may not be. Like when you guys came back as a unit, it was a nice little shot in the arm. Tessa Blanchard was brought in this past week. That was a big surprise, and it was a pretty divisive response on the internet. I'm not sure how it was received there, obviously, in person backstage or anything, but Tessa's a controversial figure in wrestling. And that certainly sparked some discourse. Is there anything you have on that you'd like to share or add?
Yeah, I do know there was some of that feedback online, especially. And there were a few people that I was sitting in the room with who changed. They're like, oh, man, she was here at one time. And they're like, man, this, she didn't do things right or whatever else. One thing I have heard is that, everyone that she was going to be working with, they were given the heads up and that they knew that was going to be happening. But also, apparently, they've been following her pretty close and just seeing how she's been as a performer, how professional she's been and whatnot. And it seems so far so good. And I know she was available to speak with anyone who may have had any kind of grievances with her at the end of the night. And I think as a society, too, if someone is actually trying to, right their wrongs and get their life back on course, we still have to be able to give second chances or third chances. I mean, if I hadn't have got second chances, I'd have been fucked, and there's a lot of people, especially in pro wrestling, that sometimes if they are trying to prove themselves and they seem like they are worthy of being given another opportunity, you gotta let them have it.
Okay. So, I mean, we'll see. My understanding is she's not under contract with TNA, so we'll see how that goes. I mean,
I think it's a work in progress,
yeah.
But it seemed like they were trying to do everything the right way.
Yeah. I mean, she was a big deal in wrestling for a while, and then some of the controversy followed her, and I guess we'll see how time has passed. A lot of times you see passage of time is ultimately what some people need on both sides of the equation to heal some or mend some broken bridges, I should say.
Or just passage of time. Also, a lot of people just need to grow the fuck up.
Trials and tribulation throughout that process.
All right, that was Matt Hardy talking about Tessa Blanchard's return to TNA. He said that her behavior has been very good thus far, and people were given a proper heads up before she returned to the company at Final Resolution when she attacked Jordan Grace during her match against Rosemary. So we're going to definitely see what happens with Tessa Blanchard next. Don't be surprised if you could see Tessa Blanchard not only being at TNA on a contract, but maybe popping up in WWE in the near future. TNA, WWE currently has a partnership, a very good one, I would say. And we've been seeing a lot of crossover with TNA popping on NXT and vice versa, NXT popping on TNA. They even been on each other's PLEs. We saw Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry be on NXT PLEs this year. And we also recently have saw NXT superstars or wrestlers being on TNA's PLEs this year, like Bound for Glory and other ones. So don't be surprised if Tessa Blanchard makes the jump to WWE. That's all I'm saying. So that's all I have regarding that. But with that being said, let's get to the bonus round. We're going to talk about how to book WrestleMania 41. Now, there's been a lot of matches that they've been talking about, a lot of stuff that's been booked. I've been hearing a lot of stuff as far as rumors of who's going to be in what match, who's going to be fighting who, and who's going to be wrestling who, and who's going to be in a main event, or just a regular match, or whatever the case may be. But with that being said, let's get into it. Let's see how this will go. First off, I've been hearing rumors that CM Punk is supposed to go against Roman Reigns one-on-one at WrestleMania 41. That's the current rumor going around right now. What do you got? I think if I were to book this match, remember CM Punk is owed a favor by Paul Heyman, a wise man. Maybe in this matchup against Roman, Paul Heyman helps CM Punk win this match against Roman. He screwed Roman, and Paul Heyman realigns himself with CM Punk. And as CM Punk said, Paul Heyman was his wise man first. Maybe that's how they could go run with that. It could very well be the case here. You never know. You never know. I think that could be a good situation. I think it'd be a good booking thing. Too late to start booking that. Why you say that, Figure Four? I mean, it'll come out of nowhere. No one would expect it if it were to happen. Say you owe him a favor, maybe that favor was to screw Roman Reigns. Man, think about it. Paul Heyman, he's known to be an advocate, a wise man, but for heels. Roman Reigns is a heel, but he's been distant from Roman. Ever since Roman came back, him and when Paul came back, they've been kind of distant from each other. Maybe he gets away from Roman and goes to Punk. I'm just saying, it could be a scenario there. It could be. CM Punk wants a title shot. That's true. But does he need Paul Heyman for that? Paul Heyman is not a general manager. He's not Adam Pearce. He's not Nick Aldis. He's not the CEO like Triple H. What power would Paul Heyman hold? Now, unless you would say Roman Reigns, you have to defeat Roman Reigns to get a title shot at the WWE Championship or World title. It could be a scenario. Could be. How would you put a title on Roman to make it work Punk's while? Yeah, he could be a number one contender. Roman and CM Punk fight for number one contendership for the WWE title. Whoever wins the match at WrestleMania goes on to maybe night two. Let's say this is a night one match. Night two, he goes on to fight for the title. And they could sell it that way. No, he don't need a title. I agree. He don't. I'm just saying that could be a good scenario there. Maybe that's how they will work that one out. I'm just saying. But there could be a match they saying at WrestleMania that possibly could happen. It could. You never know. Let's that's one scenario. That's just one scenario. Now, if there's some case, remember The Rock could be available for WrestleMania 41. If The Rock's not available for WrestleMania, if he is available for WrestleMania 41, and it's definitely for certain on, which more likely he is, we don't get Roman versus CM Punk. We will get another match scenario, and that will be CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. Maybe that's the case there. Maybe that's how that will go. We could get that too. That very well could be the case between these two. We get Punk versus Rollins because it's the match we're supposed to get last year at last year's WrestleMania. Due to CM Punk injuring his tricep at the World Rumble last year, that did not go down that way. Seth Rollins instead fought Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania for the world title, which Drew did defeat Seth Rollins and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. And it was originally supposed to be CM Punk. CM Punk stated it. He said, "You were world champ 6 months ago. Now you have nothing. I have no reason to fight you. Maybe Seth Rollins regains the World Heavyweight Championship, before WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, and CM Punk could win Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber and get the rightful claim to face Seth Rollins for the world title, and they have a match at Mania. That very well could be the case here. Who knows? Figure 4, you said, so this is not going to be the last match at Mania. Remember, Punk was the main event WrestleMania. Yeah, that's why WrestleMania is 2 nights. Now, I don't know if CM Punk could wrestle both nights, but it could be booked that way. Now, that makes more sense as why they start building right after Survivor Series. Yes, it does. Seth Rollins and CM Punk could have the match if CM Punk does not face Roman Reigns, because Rock has agreed to fight at WrestleMania 41. CM Punk could have Seth Rollins. That could be a good scenario. I don't see why not. It could very well be a good thing. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, to say at least. I think when you have this scenario, I think it'll work out just fine. And these two don't like each other. So Punk and Seth, why not? Why not? Why not do it that way? That could be a very good case here. So these two fighting it out at WrestleMania. I think it'd be a great idea. Some people may think otherwise. I would say it's the best scenario there. It could be CM Punk, like you said, he has to main event WrestleMania at some given point. If CM Punk is getting teased by Seth Rollins about not main event WrestleMania, so Punk's going to eventually do it. It could be the case here. You never know. It could be the right scenario. And I wouldn't be mad if if this was the match we get. This is the match we're supposed to get. We never got it. Now, we did get a Punk versus Drew, which was a great feud. That was a great feud for 2024. But this is the match that we all wanted. In this sense, CM Punk came back on the scene. So let's be honest. That's what they got. So I could be the best thing going there. I don't see why not. It's a good idea. And it could serve very well at the end of the day if done correctly. But that's only if it's done right. If not done right, then my motto, if you don't do it right, then don't do it at all. That's how I would book that situation. You guys let me know how you would book the CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I don't see nothing wrong with the scenario. I think it'd be a great scenario. I think it'd be a classic thing. But we gotta see how they're gonna do it. Definitely gotta see how they're gonna do it, how it will go. But that's one scenario of how to book WrestleMania 41. I mentioned two, CM Punk facing Seth Rollins and CM Punk facing Roman Reigns. That's 2 scenarios I've mentioned, but that's not it. I got some more scenarios in the book. I got some more in the bag. So yeah, we gotta see what else could be handed out as well. As far as that goes, it could be a great booking decision. And I'll have, of course, Punk go over and win. I would definitely have that go on too. Let's see what you guys have to say so far before we get to it. Cody definitely has one night, which leaves one. Night 1, Seth the best option, not Roman right now. Yeah, and with that being said, let's get to another scenario. If not Seth, if not Roman, what if he got both at the same time? A triple threat match. What if we got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns? And let's say Seth is the world champ. Let's say they all fight each other for that title, because let's face it, all 3 of you guys do not like each other. They don't. Neither one of these guys like each other. Roman don't like Seth. Seth don't like Roman. Roman and Seth both don't like Punk, and Punk don't like neither one of them. And Punk said it best, I'm here to make money, not to make friends. So maybe they could have this could be one of the main events on one of WrestleMania nights. CM Punk, he defeats Seth and Roman to win that title. And maybe Seth don't get pinned. Maybe Roman gets pinned. Roman could take the pinfall, and maybe Seth and CM Punk continue to feud. Be like, hey, you didn't pin me to beat me for my title. They continue to feud on for the rest of maybe for the better half of 2025 after WrestleMania. Figure 4, so I can see this. This match do not need a title at all. No. Yeah, and it don't have to be for a title. That's one scenario, either for a title or not for a title. Only a 1v1 for the title. Yeah, that could be a scenario. But or these three just fight it out, all three of them. They don't like each other anyway. They're good 3 names anyway. Why not do it that way? And I don't see why they wouldn't do it that way. These guys got enough star power. CM Punk got star power. Roman got star power. Seth got star power. So, yeah, I can see that going in. Definitely be a good scenario. I don't see why not. But we have to see what the next one's going to be. Again, so we went over so far 3 scenarios for 3 matches. Let's go over another one. This is a more realistic one too. This one I'm going to talk about, if not this happening, if Roman's not involved with Seth or CM Punk, maybe we get the match we were supposed to get. Maybe we do. But we'll see. We're going to see. And I will say that match we do supposed to get, we get Roman Reigns versus The Rock. We get Roman versus The Rock. Will we get that at WrestleMania? That is the match that everybody really wants. Remember, we're supposed to get this match years ago. This match will be years in the making. Rock was not able to do a WrestleMania 38 back in 2022. That's what forced Stone Cold to come out of retirement, wrestle Kevin Owens. Then Cody returned to WrestleMania. Still a star WrestleMania, the same WrestleMania where Roman did become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. We beat Brock Lesnar, title versus title. But maybe we finally get this match we're supposed to get. Roman versus The Rock. Rock, he still feels the type of way about Roman losing at WrestleMania 40 and losing the undisputed WWE Universal Championship or undisputed WWE Championship, whatever you want to call this title, I don't care. He lost the title to Cody, and Rock would say, you know what, Roman? I carried you in the night 1 tag team match against Cody and Seth. And you almost lost the match when Rock accidentally speared Rock, when Roman accidentally speared The Rock. He almost cost that team the matchup. And Rock came in and he saved the match. Remember, Rock hit Cody with the belt, I think, when Cody was going to the rope. And Rock was allowed to pin Cody, and they won night 1. And I'm saying that because remember the stipulation of the rule. If Rock and Roman won night 1 in a tag match in the main event, WrestleMania 40, they will go on to have the match of Roman versus Cody, WWE Championship Bloodline rules. If not, it would not be Bloodline rules. And Rock gave Roman the advantage heading into night 2 for his title. And with that being said, with that working in Roman's favor, Bloodline rules, Roman, you still managed to lose the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes. And Rock could say, we got a problem with that. That's why Solo, who probably was handpicked by Rock, maybe he's the puppet, Solo's the puppet behind a Rock to say he's the tribal chief, not you. And Solo is the tribal chief. You're not tribal chief anymore because you lost the title. Roman took a few months off, and now we can finally get this match. And then, Rock cut the promo. He don't like what's going on for the past 6 months. This will be a good story for WrestleMania 41. So we got to see what's going to happen, though. I think this will be a great story between these two. Cousin versus cousin. Rock always made events against a big star name. And I think he said Roman wants the match he wanted for years. And the last guy he would main event against. The last name Rock made events at 1-on-1 against WrestleMania was no other than, as they call it, GOAT, John Cena. So maybe that's the case. That's the match we get. Maybe that's the match that should be going on. Who knows? Now, if this match does not happen WrestleMania 41, we know that Rock has another story with somebody else too. We know that Rock's been beefing with someone else, and he also wants someone else's title, and that's the guy that beat Roman at WrestleMania. That is, you guys already know, Cody Rhodes. Maybe we get this match at WrestleMania 41. We got Cody Rhodes, WWE Champion, undisputed WWE Champion, versus The Rock. Rock pinned Cody night one. Rock had an interaction with Cody, whispered something in his ear. Raw after WrestleMania. Cody and Rock exchanged belts. Rock said, "Let me look at your belt." Cody said, "I'll look at yours." This could lead up to a match at WrestleMania 41. Rock and Cody. What do you guys think of that situation? That very well could be a situation going down. I'm just saying. You could get that between Rock and Cody. I don't see why not. Well, we'll have to see what the next thing going to happen. Now, if this does happen, like I said earlier, Roman, if he don't fight Rock, then Roman will go on to face against Cody. Against Seth or CM Punk or Triple Threat or whatever the case may be. He'll be one of them guys. But Rock, if he don't fight Roman, maybe he fights Cody. Maybe he fights him for that title at WrestleMania 41. I'm just saying that could very well be a scenario. So a lot of scenarios when it comes down to WrestleMania 41, because we have a plethora of wrestlers that could fight against each other in night one and night two of WrestleMania 40. It could very well be the case. We may get a Rock. If we don't get Rock versus Roman, we could get a Rock versus Cody Rhodes. We could get that too. So I would not be surprised if that's the match we end up getting at the end of the day. It could very well be. Could not be, but could be. So I'm just saying this is a good booking scenario. Now, is this the match that everybody wants to see on the card at first? Probably not. Probably not. Everybody don't want to see Cody versus Rock. They'd rather see Rock versus Roman. So I could see that happening as well. But you guys let me know, what do you think of how that will go down? Because it's a possibility. It don't have to be for certain, but it could be a possibility. I would like to see how they're going to do this whole thing between Rock and Cody for this title. So I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there too. But there's another scenario as well. Now, it don't have to be Cody versus The Rock at WrestleMania. It doesn't have to be that one. Rock could go and fight Roman. He could very well be. Very well could be. But we got to see what other scenarios as far as that goes when it comes down to this matchup. Now, Cody, we know he got beef with Kevin Owens. We know it's personal right now, very personal. We know he has beef with Rock, upcoming beef. But he gonna have beef with somebody else too. Cody may have his ties hand up with somebody else. And if it ain't The Rock, could be another big time wrestler, multi world champion, future Hall of Famer, Randy Orton. Will we get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton? It's another scenario. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, both in Legacy. Randy Orton, the leader of Legacy. Cody was under Randy's mentorship. Cody saw it all. He was under the learning tree of the Viper Randy Orton, the prime Randy Orton that was bald in 2009, holding the title. Maybe Randy's jealous of how Cody's risen. He did watch Cody become WWE champion this year. He's been standing that title in several months before Randy went down at the hands of Kevin Owens. Maybe that is the case here too. You never know. You could get that too. Maybe they go over and fight for the WWE Championship. Could Randy win? That's a possibility. Randy could close in on his 15th world title in history and be one behind Cena and Flair. and 2 behind breaking the record. Maybe they'll make a story behind Randy Orton breaking the record of world championships reigns of all time. Maybe he can finally hit the 17, and maybe it starts breaking the 17, getting there by defeating Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. He get his 15th title. Only need 2 more, and that will end his storyboard career. Randy Orton right off to the sunset in the next few title runs after that. And like I said, it could be a good story behind that. Or Cody Rhodes defeats Randy Orton, his mentor. You know, student versus teacher versus student. Kind of like WrestleMania 21, Batista versus Triple H for the world title. Maybe we get a storybook like that too. Because remember, Randy Orton did turn on Legacy, and that was on not just Cody, but Ted DiBiase. They didn't flip on him. Randy flipped on those two. Maybe Cody Rhodes won his payback on that. Say, hey, you did turn on me. So let's see. Figure 14, you said Randy didn't help Roman this year also. Nope, Randy was against Roman. He helped Cody. And maybe Randy, that's another reason why Randy could fight Cody. Randy's mad because, hey, Cody, I stood by you with the Kevin Owens. I stood by you with the Bloodline. And you didn't even ask me for a title shot. You treat me bogus, man. I'm a Viper. And you can't do him like that. And maybe Randy Orton is going to take what's his. Take rightfully so. So that could be a good story. Like I said, Cody don't have to fight Rock. Cody could fight Randy. That very well could be a story there as well. You never know. You never know what the case may be when it comes down to that. You just never know. And speaking of which, you guys let me know what you think of potentially Cody Rhodes going one-on-one against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So we have to wait and see. But speaking of Kevin Owens, he's also could be booked at WrestleMania 41. He could be in a story of his own. Not against Cody anymore, not against Randy. He mentioned someone a couple weeks on Raw, on SmackDown, that he has a bone to pick with when it comes to it. He's going to spin the block with Sami Zayn. Maybe they have a match at WrestleMania 41. Remember, Sami Zayn is helping the OG Bloodline like he did Survivor Series. Kevin Owens still has beef with them. And Kevin Owens has a rightful claim saying, hey, Sammy, what is your problem? Why are you helping Bloodline again? We went through this again. Not only went through it, remember Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeated the Usos at WrestleMania 39 in the main event to capture the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. And Kevin Owens could say, we went through all of that for nothing, just for you to re-team up with him. You thought Seth Rollins said some stuff about Sammy. Kevin Owens go even harder than that. He very well could be. And he has a point. Why would you realign yourself with that? You know, we could say that. So that could be a story there. Kevin Owens can go one against Sammy. Now we've seen this feud so many times, but this has a real story behind it. This is all about Bloodline. It's about helping Roman Reigns, helping the OG Bloodline, the same Bloodline that caused Kevin Owens hell for years, that stopped him from becoming champion, that made very uncomfortable for him to be on WWE for years. So that could be a match potentially at WrestleMania 41. Figure 4 said we may get a triple threat match this way, two triple threat matches to main event on all shows. Very well could be. But Kevin Owens could go one-on-one Sami Zayn. Now, I don't think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ever faced off one-on-one at WrestleMania. They faced off one-on-one many times in the past, but not at WrestleMania. This could be a big stage. And Sami Zayn, you out here looking like a sucker and a fool right now because Seth called you out on your nonsense, and now KO will call you nonsense as well. So that very well could be another scenario. Just saying. Now, one more scenario I do have want to talk about for WrestleMania 41. This was reportedly announced as well, a potential or reportedly rumored. It said for John Cena, he's going to have his last WrestleMania 41. This is his last one. John Cena 2025 retirement tour. Rumored that John Cena goes one-on-one against Logan Paul for his last WrestleMania. How do we book this match with Cena versus Logan Paul? For one, Logan Paul, how can he get a program with Cena? Do we want to see Logan Paul as John Cena's final opponent at WrestleMania? Logan Paul, part-time, been in some feuds. Now, I'll give Logan's credit. He has feuded against Roman Reigns. He's feuded against Seth Rollins. He's feuded against Cody Rhodes. He's feuded against several big names, and they all were at WrestleMania. He fought Roman not Roman, but he fought Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. He fought Roman at Crown Jewel. And he fought Cody at Clash at the Castle. But at WrestleMania, Logan's only fought Seth Rollins, which he lost. This year at WrestleMania, I want to say he fought. Who did Logan fight this year at WrestleMania 40? I'm trying to see who did he fight this year. I think it was it LA Knight? I know he lost the title to LA Knight at WrestleMania at SummerSlam. I'm trying to see who did Logan fight this year because he was at WrestleMania. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he fought. It was a triple threat for the United States Championship, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, that's right. Logan defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. He retained. So he already fought against Randy, KO in the same range, Seth, Cody, Roman. He's won against some top names already. Maybe he's seen his final opponent. Maybe Cena picks Logan. Maybe Cena wants to see, Logan's the newest star, Cena's a legend. Maybe that's the match we get at Cena's last WrestleMania. Just saying. 8-match king, that boy Paul is money. Could be LA Knight. Could be LA Knight against John Cena. We could get that too. That's another scenario we could very well get. I could see that happening too. But this is Cena's last WrestleMania. Does he go one-on-one against Logan Paul? What's the story behind it? Maybe John Cena think he still can hang with the high-flying Logan Paul. Maybe so. But it's not a bad idea. He's never faced against Logan Paul before. And I'm pretty sure Cena's been watching him. He said he may want a match against him at WrestleMania. So you just never know. But that's one scenario that could be. I heard lots of names. I heard Braun Breaker. I've heard, of course, Randy Orton they want to bring up, and LA Knight. It's names that they brought up. There's been some names that's been brought up for this WrestleMania. Speaking of which, I have one last scenario. It could very well be the whole thing. This could be a possibility too. And I'm going to say it right now. I don't think Braun Breaker's going to do it. Braun Breaker's too early in his career. He's not the veteran yet. I don't think he should do it. Not even Logan either. Logan's going to be a superstar because he is a superstar. He has a name. But if they were to pick, if not Logan Paul, he could go against LA Knight. LA Knight is a scenario. Remember, Cena and LA Knight had interaction already. When LA Knight was going to feud against the Miz at Fastlane Payback last year. Remember, Cena raised his hand. They had a stare down. Cena raised Logan Paul hand. LA Knight hand, giving him his respect, his due. Maybe we get that at WrestleMania 41. It may be LA Knight is John Cena's final opponent at WrestleMania 41. Could very well be. I can see that happening. So just saying, you gotta take that into perspective. So I can see that being the case here. How they book that, of course, LA Knight wins, or if it's against Logan Paul, he wins. But it could be LA Knight wins, but you just never know. It's so many people John Cena could choose from right now to be his final WrestleMania opponent. But I heard it's up to John Cena to pick who his final opponent going to be. And we'll see how that will all play out at the end of the day. Remember, this is a little early. We do have WrestleMania in April, and we're in late December, going into January. So we have to see how that's going to go. There's been a lot of scenarios I mentioned. I mentioned a lot of match scenarios for WrestleMania 41. I mean, we've mentioned, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different scenarios. So, and that's all I have regarding how to book WrestleMania 41. You guys let me know what you think of the book scenarios, of all the scenarios that were mentioned regarding WrestleMania 41 matches. Night 1, night 2, title, no title, one-on-one, triple threat, you name it. So thank you guys for coming out. We talked about SmackDown. Drew McIntyre turns attention and race to Solo Sikoa. We talked about bonus round, current news, what went wrong, and what went right to SmackDown. Thank you all. You guys click the links to the content, click the links to content Red Carpet Ring, check out the membership, hit the links below in the information for become a member of the Red Carpet Ring. Check out exclusive content, backstage, and audiobooks. Until then, you guys already know what it is. It is old.
Like I say this a lot, we're not a sport, we're a movie about a sport, or a TV show about a sport, right? So the interest of all the other...
I feel like the heel turn did wonders for me. There was a sense of reality in that, to where I had hit a point, and the babyface stuff was going great. The Alpha Academy stuff was going great. We had a blast with that. But I'm a realist, and I'm also like a long-term thinker.